Alright, we're gonna get this meeting started. November 6th, EMS building for a select board meeting. First on the agenda is to ask if there's any additions or changes to the agenda. Having none, we will move forward with the agenda in hand. Jumping right to the first agenda item is public comments. Seeing we have no public personnel here. We'll bypass to the next one, which is executive session for personnel.
Also move.
Opposed, say nay. Motion's been passed. All right. Couple minutes early. Are you the only one? Okay.
Yep.
This is your next on the agenda. We got Tim Hayes. Next on the agenda.
Jesse, did you print anything off like that?
They have what,
Okay.
what Marguerite had
Okay,
given me on
that's
Friday.
why I didn't print it, 'cause I figured you had
Yeah,
it.
they have all that, yep.
Okay,
I don't know, you're probably telling me what, today with, Jeff?
well, I didn't, yeah,
Okay.
okay, so you got pretty much all the paperwork come from the state. The water went bad again, which I knew it was it went muddy, about 2 weeks ago. Both the trailer and the store house, was like mud.
Were they the same time, Tim?
Yeah, same time. And then last week, the tenant in the trailer came up, and her water went muddy again. I believe we're getting surface water now. And according to the tests, they didn't come back good. Both tests, we had one prior to this week, and this week it didn't come back good either.
It's like last week, the trailer was dirty again.
Yeah, it was dirty again.
But the other one was okay.
That one was okay, but they both, the store is coming back bad. So,
So just the store was tested though.
yeah, but we're having trouble with both wells, but. So on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, I gotta have the, two assessment done on the wells again in the store, like we did in April or whenever we had the first problem. So we're back square one again on the well. We're still getting air in the pipes. There's not adequate water now, and it's still pumping down. I haven't tested it in the last little bit because I didn't want to disturb it, but it's still pumping. Last time I tested it, it's still pumping down 10 feet at 10 minutes at the faucet running in the store alone. So that puts it down to about 32 feet. At that point, if anything else comes on, it pulls the water down so it sucks air. So there's no water there really now compared to what there was. We had a static level before, we have no static level now. Just like before. And now, like I said, the water's come back bad again, and we gotta go through all this stuff. EPA's been involved in this. Did you give them that paper too?
I just had, well, one of them, it lists, it gives a little,
Okay.
on the bottom, I can't remember which one it
This
says.
is a longer paper.
It's this one right here where they
Yes,
give us
that one,
recommendations.
Yeah,
You're talking that one?
I think it's on
On the bottom of the first
the
page.
bottom of the first page where it talks about.
In the process of adopting.
Right.
Oh.
It's down there.
Yep.
And is working on the United States DP.
Is that the one you have?
Yep.
Okay. So that's the next part of what's going on. I don't know how that's gonna all go. I'll know more about Thursday. And Jeff said we could shock the well, but it's better off not shocking the well until after we do this, two assessment, just to make sure that he don't find nothing. So, I guess
What does this assessment entail? He's coming up,
they come up, they check the well, They
Do
check,
they run a sample themselves?
no, they check all the like, when they came up last time, the black pipe came involved, the digging came up into it, because it was, the ground had been changed. They checked the water, tanks, the pump, or not the pump, but the water tanks and around to see if they can find anything wrong. That's on Thursday.
Did you get a report from that, from the last time?
Yeah, we got, well, the black pipe we found, and we took care of that problem. The assessment tool was cleared up the first time, just 2 weeks ago.
No, I meant when you said the EPA came out before.
No, the EPA is involved, or, I don't know for sure
Did I
what.
not write that? I thought you
No,
you
the,
said again, so I
well,
thought,
the,
I
no,
thought you
the,
meant that this.
the assessment tool is, this is the second time. The EPA though, they've got another blurb with the EPAs, I don't know what that entails, cause I haven't ever dealt with that part of it yet. But it's basically, the water went bad, within that year period that I talked about. And it's not supposed to, it's cannot go bad within a year. Every month you have to test it. Came back 2 consecutive times again, bad. So, like I said, it looks like we're getting groundwater now, or surface water. I'm not really for sure, can't tell. Water's weird, but something with the digging has changed the whole thing. And I don't believe there's any turning back on this situation now.
And Jeff is representing who?
What's that?
Jeff is representing who?
Jeff is the Water Protection Agency.
Okay, so with the state.
Yes, with the state. And then the guy coming up Thursday, I can't remember his name. I talked to him tonight. He's coming up to do the assessment, the 2 assessment, to see.
So a different guy.
Yes, different guy.
State person.
Yeah, another state person. And he does that. He fills it out and see what's changed, and then he checks everything, like where the well is and where the pumps are and all that stuff. And nothing's changed at all except for the digging. And so, anyways.
And then who's taking the sample?
Marguerite takes the samples.
And we're gonna do that on that same day?
No. I don't believe so. We probably could. It don't really matter when you take them. Because I guess we're gonna have to shock the well again. But they recommend not shocking it until after he does his assessment. And then we can see how it turns out after that again.
So then would you have an objection, I'm just throwing this out.
No, I don't. I know what you're
No,
gonna
no,
say.
Is if we were to have our health officer,
Don't matter. Bring anybody you want. But it still don't cure the problem.
no, but
No,
There's not adequate water.
we need to start somewhere.
Yeah. No, I know you're gonna. Yeah, I knew you were gonna start. Wanted to do something different like that. But that's fine if you want to.
And then,
But every time that goes bad, it's worse.
so you're saying the trailer did not get tested.
I haven't tested the trailer.
So if we had Sandy go there,
And I told her not to drink the water because it went muddy. I know there's contamination.
well, I think it's, the health officer's position to test that too.
Yeah, well, it is. I'm sure.
And we'd have a baseline ourselves of the 2 water sources, cause they're completely different. And
Well, it's-
that other one's uphill.
Same depth, same gravel bed. It's all the same water. So there's no real difference in water there. They're both down the same depth. The actual pumps are the same height. And we're having the same issues about the same time. So I don't see where that's and it's lucky there's only one lady there because she don't suck much water.
So what time Thursday morning?
9 o'clock.
And if the weather's bad, they still come, they didn't say whether or not.
Yeah,
I
whether
think it's supposed to be nasty that day.
Yeah, weather don't have nothing to do with it. They just go and see what the site looks like, what the well looks like, where the tank is, and look at everything. And then they go through a assessment, it's about, I don't know, 8 to 10 pages, and
I just talked to Sandy, so she'll be available.
Oh, she's out there?
Yeah, yeah,
Should've figured
I
cards.
yeah, I figured I'd give her a heads up that.
well, she's been short a couple times in the last year, so.
Right, but
Yeah.
at least that way,
Yeah.
it's not a surprise to her, and then she's gotta
Yeah.
change her plans where, if we forewarn her, she might be more readily available.
Actually, if she's there too, she may have some questions too to ask that guy.
Okay,
Just
Yeah.
trying to get eyes and ears on everything.
And start with that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking if she could test both sites again before it gets shocked and after.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like I said, I don't,
To me, I find it hard to believe surface water is getting all the way now that it's all compacted down, and it had to for coliform. I mean, it can be. It's hard to believe it. Gravel and sand's gonna produce coliform, but that's a question that maybe the state can have some guidance on.
well, the thing is, everything's been changed, and when you change groundwater, everything changes. And like I said, we never had trouble as well, we had all kinds of water, and now we don't have that, and we have trouble with it every other time. It was pretty good all summer, but the other thing is, it's been a wet summer, so if we had a dry summer, we're sucking here now. If we had a dry summer, we'd definitely be out of water. So that's one of my bigger concerns in the coliform at this point. The static level shot in that well, or actually both of them, but.
Yeah, that's, and we can talk to our lawyer too, because it's engineers who are not there no more are still should be responsible too.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking to you guys. I really don't feel it's your fault this happened, but when they're warned to stay away from the well, they should have listened a little bit, and they kept digging. They should have listened and stopped, but they didn't, and they kept going. Now it's changed everything in the ground. So, and to not put some stuff into the bid packet was a real big mistake, and that's not you guys, but it is a problem that we got to deal with. You know, it is probably somebody else's fault, but unfortunately, you guys are the ones I have to talk to.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that. I mean, where's the water going? It's not leaving.
Well,
I know.
you know when you change water, like when they first dug the ditch was running down through the ditch all the way to the end where that black pipe was. They had in the ground they were going to drain out, and then when you dug the hole across over on the other side, that dried up. That water left and went into the other hole. So it changed the whole water in the ground. And once it changes the water in the ground, you can say, well, I'll fill it in, pack it, and we'll get it all back. Well, it ain't gonna happen because it's found its new way. And once it's found its new way, it's like putting a drainage tile in. When you put a drainage tile in, water goes to the drainage tile.
I never have that good of luck with drainage tiles.
Well, they wanted to put a 6-inch drainage tile at the base of that friggin' thing, and they said the water wouldn't go into the drainage tile, so maybe you were right, I don't know, but I would say the water would go there.
Yeah, but that's, that's what we can do for right now.
Okay, so she'll be here, she'll be there Thursday morning,
Well,
or to talk to state?
you want me to go grab her phone number and that way you can let her know what time?
You said
Yeah.
9 o'clock,
Yeah, 9 o'clock,
Oh,
9 o'clock in the morning,
on Thursday.
and it'd be, she can take samples at the trailer in the store. And the guy's gonna be there so she can ask questions to him.
Yeah, that way, if she does have any questions, she can ask him, because he's the one that shocked the well originally. I didn't know really.
This guy that's coming tomorrow,
Because I didn't really know how to shock it because the water was running through and I wanted to make sure it was adequate shock in it. So he put a lot in it.
so this guy is not Jeff, it's
And he
No.
he meets you at the store, is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jeff is the boss.
Well, just another part. There's 3 or 4 parts, the people you have to talk to. But Jeff is,
Compliance analyst is him, Jeff Gerard.
yeah,
So he'll be there,
no, not Jeff.
No, he won't,
the
he's saying.
assessment people,
Yeah,
on
assessment.
Thursday.
Yeah, and it's the guy this time. Usually it's a girl, but apparently she's not available. And so Jeff lined this guy up. They already
Okay.
has come up to look at the well.
And you can let the tenant know that Sandy needs to go in
Yeah,
on Thursday.
yeah, I'll talk to him. Her.
Okay. Are you giving her,
mm-hmm.
Want me to call her
Yes, just to,
to verify or whatever?
well, just a reminder and everything, but,
Tomorrow I'll call her.
We can remind her too.
right, but that way,
Okay. Yep.
it's, in case something changes, the guy is running behind or
Yeah.
it's supposed to snow, so I mean.
Yeah.
He could get stuck.
He could get stuck.
and this will be our town official that's gonna be talking to the lawyer with more standing than what we have. So if she's got some information there, she can come back and share with him.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
As long as we're heading in some direction to rectify the problem, so I don't, run out of water and we don't keep going through this problem because it's just gonna get worse.
Hopefully not, I'll keep getting rain.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is better, rain or no rain.
Yeah, that's where we started at the beginning of the summer, no rain.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Any other
Cool.
questions? Okay.
Thanks.
thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Have a good day.
Thanks. Tim.
Yep.
Here, Joey.
Alright. Next on the agenda is Margot.
Okay,
Rec director.
so I had sent, Billy Joe a list of some purchases we wanna make for the new community center. So we have a pretty good budget line for that, so we just wanted to kind of start thinking about what we wanna put in there. This pretty much covers like, we did not touch on the big room, the rec center. This is just the community center room that we're looking at, that this stuff would utilize. So I try to break it down as well as I could for you. This pretty much is everything we feel like we need to kind of move in there and start functioning, with exception of my office stuff, which, Billy Joe had discussed, trying to get it off the surplus website to save some money, but that would kind of be something we would order when we're ready to move in, cause it would be, we have to purchase it and pick it up, at the time. only other things that like, it's on the bottom, this is other, like, you know, the committee wanted to paint, which would be something we would do later on. Indoor projector screen is on there, that's just, we wanna move outdoor movie nights to inside, so we wanna get an indoor projector screen. And then one thing I didn't add on your list was we probably should get like a wall mounted, like first aid kit kind of thing, so. Those are just things that didn't make the list, but we'll probably need to get, so. Anyway, I don't know if you guys just wanna review it, or if you have questions, or what, you know. A lot of stuff, like, in terms of like, you know, once we get in there, we'll know, like, do we need more, like, art supplies or that kind of stuff. This is kind of mostly like our storage, you know, our basic furniture and stuff we know we're gonna be using every day, so.
What's the 22,000 up top here?
That's
Says-
the total budget, that's the total budget I have for the rec space.
And this would be 6,000 of that.
This would be, yeah, so this is kind of where we're starting with what stuff we wanna get. There's a lot of items, like I said, for like the rec space, the big room, that I'm holding off on purchasing because like, again, we have to talk about the flooring in there and what we can actually do with or without professional flooring. You know, cause we could get basketball hoops and indoor soccer nets and all that kind of stuff, but can we do that without a floor? So that's kind of, I think, probably a later conversation, as to how we're gonna address that. So, like I said, this is just kind of stuff for the the smaller room, the community center space.
That's the room on the right as well.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so it would be the community center and then my office space, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if these numbers are good or not.
Yeah,
I don't purchase this.
I know, I went back and forth on a few different websites, I tried to get, you know, best options.
Yeah.
And of course, this doesn't, you know, this isn't considering shipping too, so that's, that would be included.
What's the timeline on that?
Remember?
Yeah, still.
We're vaults, walls are almost done, ECI's coming back in 1st of December to put the beams in and then pour the ceiling, and then after that, it's flooring and electrical's gotta come back in, but he's gonna be back here in December, so I mean, once the vault is the big elephant in the room, of course, so once that's done, then the rest of the other little stuff is gonna be easy. Like I said, flooring, doors, electrical, some electrical, basically. I'm not having to do any electrical until that vault's done, cause some of it's gotta go out and around, so.
Billy Joe and I discussed too, like, once our floor goes in, you know, this stuff can kind of just be stored in there until we're ready to fully have it be functioning, so.
So is
Just
this
so
how
we can
much you
kinda get
guys
a
left
jump on
That's how
on
much you
the stuff that we
budgeted for that
need.
stuff.
for this year?
Yeah.
Okay, that's, yeah, kinda what I was getting at, because we wanna use it up.
Well,
Right.
right,
This
that's
year-
why.
That's why I told
So-
you.
That's the concern, so that's why, like, I'm wondering about, like, if, when there's the bigger stuff, and like I said, the indoor soccer nets and all that stuff, should I just start purchasing that, knowing that the floor in that room isn't ready yet, but it's just a matter of we're gonna have that, so when we can get in there and utilize it, we have the equipment? Like, I'm not sure the best way to go about with it.
My concern is there's a lot of stuff right now in that room, in that big room,
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
we have the construction stuff
Oh,
in there.
yeah,
And we just have a lot of stuff that's in there because we're moving it from room to room to try to make room for, so I would like to hold off until we can move some of that stuff out. I understand her concern, but there's a lot of crap in the big room right now that we're just wandering around.
What's the lead time on like those nets and things like that?
I think they're pretty accessible.
I mean,
Yeah.
You're gonna know that, I mean, it's gonna take a while to clean the room out, get the floor set, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have plenty of time to.
No,
work.
I know, I just didn't know in terms of like, you know, if we have the budget and wanna make sure we're using it and getting what we need, that's why I'm asking, just, yeah.
I would think we could roll that.
That's
Money
what it
over
was
to
gonna be my
next
next
year,
question,
so
can we
you have
roll it
stuff
into
like
next year?
that.
Yeah.
I think things like, you'll be surprised at how expensive like the indoor projector screen and getting an overhead projector.
I was
Well, if you
but
don't
yeah.
wanna like cheap out though, you don't, you
No,
want
no,
something's
I
gonna
know.
last, so.
Yeah,
Like when we bought them here, for here, they were really expensive,
Oh, really?
so,
yeah,
I
that-
think when you buy things like that, it'll eat up quite a bit
It
of
will,
stuff,
yes,
so.
yes, and that's.
But I understand what you're saying, I just hate to have more stuff in there, we're just storing and storing.
But yeah, I guess if it's a matter of can we roll in whatever's left over to utilize for when we're ready to access it, yeah.
But there's probably other things like board games and.
Yeah, and
Walls
that
and
stuff
different
is kinda
things.
hard to know until we're in there, like I said, this list is kind of the basic, like, move in, set up, get ready, and then once we know what programs and stuff we're gonna run, then yes, we will purchase, like I said, our art supplies and our board games, and we already have a lot of that stuff, so it's a matter of digging through all the totes that we have and
And did you-
organizing it.
Like, you said storage cabinet,
Mhm.
3 of them, I mean, you might end up
So-
needing more of those.
We
because-
might,
yeah.
right, exactly. Right, I tried to go by like some measurements, it's not perfect, but yes, we might need more once we're in there and get it set up, yeah.
I know how the construction phase of places are, and so don't want it to get lost in the shuffle if we get it too quick, but I mean, we can hang on to this list there, and we can look at it in December too,
Okay.
seeing how close we're gonna be coming,
Okay,
maybe something we can order right at the end of the year and still be
okay,
on this year's budget, but we can always carry the money over, and
okay,
definitely,
thank you.
Well, we're on that topic, not to take away Margot, but
Yeah.
that sand salt shed lumber, we're gonna have to think what we're gonna do with the walls, or, I know Bethany doesn't have that stuff, figured out, but as we get closer and closer to, the fire marshal coming in there, I'm gonna definitely have to get those things out of there,
yeah.
so just something that we all need to think about on the horizon, so. They have 15 walls and pretty good pile of 2x6s in there, so.
We can split it up between our places.
Try and find a place for it.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to discuss was, so there's a grant opportunity, it's due on December 15th. But before we applied for it, I just wanted to kind of run the idea by you guys. So it's the Vermont Outdoor Recreation Community Grant, the state of Vermont. It's significant amount of funding that they're providing. I was trying to find the actual, right up here. Something we were thinking of was kind of expanding on the current ice rink. And the thought was, actually Phil, you kind of gave me this idea last year. You said you'd love to see 2 rinks, like a hockey rink and then a skating rink. So the thought is to propose to pour 2 slabs in that same area, and rebuild the frames, potentially build roofs over the top to prevent snow from falling on it. And then a big part of the grant is like equitable access. So, focusing on the fact that we're a lot of low-income families here, and that this would be a free opportunity, and it would increase our opportunity for skating. And we could also purchase like equipment for anyone to use, including sticks, pucks, helmets. They also have like skating assistance, so either you can stand and push it, or there's ones with slings. So if people like little guys or even people that need assistance standing they can literally sit in the sling, and you can push them on the ice. So there's a lot of different options like that. So we just that was kind of our like basic idea of how we might want to utilize this grant. It's for outdoor recreation specifically, and it's for, like I said, equitable access. So that was kind of our thoughts. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' okay on that before we tried to access that grant.
How much is it for?
It's so, let me try to pull it up, because there's different numbers depending on where you apply. Hold on just one second.
Is there enough room to do 2 slabs and still access the cold storage, okay?
So I didn't,
So,
there should be. I intend to go do some actual measurements, because the other thing that was proposed is that if we're pouring 2 slabs, can we utilize it in the summer and create some pickleball courts? So here it is. So I was gonna do some measurements, I just haven't got out there yet.
also only got now 30 by 70?
75, yeah, 70.
It was at least like
Yeah.
70, right?
70, I
70,
think,
because
we
it's
split
half,
that.
yeah, we split that 150 in half,
Right.
so.
And like a pickleball court, I looked it up, it's like 20 by 40 or something, like they're smaller.
That can
so
be
you-
on cement also?
Yeah, it could be, cause they do it on the basketball court, sometimes, at the rec field, so they prefer to do it inside, but, I mean, you can play outside. Okay, let me just, so if we went with the outdoor equity track, which is one we could try for, so this track projects funds that support like people with low income, speakers of different languages. So that would be something else, like we could say we would redo our sign that has multiple languages on it, you know, like English and Spanish or something, again, to increase access. The project minimum is none. So, and then there's project development. I think the outdoor equity is where we would go. It says project minimum none. So it's pretty wide open.
Is there a max on it though? Or no?
It
Is
doesn't say, hold on, let me
Sam Essential Enosburgh firewood eliminate, because Sam Essential Enosburgh firewood eliminate, that's Sam Essential clearing 1923.
So outdoor
Is there a
equity,
match?
no minimum or maximum, no.
A match?
There is, I don't believe so.
So,
I don't think so.
so you don't think one big one versus, you would prefer to see 2 smaller ones?
Well, one big one would be okay. I think we'd prefer to see 2 because a few things were discussed. One, it could be 1 hockey, 1 skating, but also it could be 1 more advanced skaters, 1 more beginner skaters. Because there were some families last year that were a little hesitant to go because some people were very good skaters and very aggressive on the ice, and then they had their little kids and it was a little uncomfortable. So that it would just open up a few more opportunities if there were 2 versus 1. But we could go with 1 if you think that's the better option.
I'm not saying that one's better than the other, I'm just
Yeah.
asking for space
For
ways,
spacing
to make
wise.
sure we can still get to the cold storage, because it's
Right.
utilized so much.
Right. Mm-hmm.
How big are your hockey rinks?
Like a standard hockey rink? I don't know, Pierre would know that.
Same size basketball court, must be, they put them on basketball court.
I think it's, yeah.
Yeah,
85 by 28.
90 by 30.
Most North American rinks follow the National Hockey League specifications of 200 by 85.
85 by 200, yeah.
I don't think there's that much room up here.
That's really big.
That's huge, yeah.
But I know if you put two right together with just something you could take down.
Well, yeah, or maybe an L.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come
Yep.
off that end and go maybe towards the
Oh,
building
like
and then
literally.
towards, you know, like maybe split the existing one and then do one on the end, maybe,
Mm,
where you could petition off.
mhm.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
come out
like
on the end like
separate it.
this, and then you put one like this, going way across.
Um,
You know what I mean? So this would be the existing one, and make one that would go like this.
Well, you were talking
And then
about
you
putting
could
a
separate
roof
this
over
one.
it or
But we would
Not a-
propose that for the grant, I mean, Catherine mentioned that, like, because, I mean, that Jesse can attest to, that's a lot of work just scraping off snow.
yeah.
It would really help with maintenance, for sure.
But speaking of maintenance,
It's not
I mean,
bad
whatever
for
you
you.
decide
Yeah, right?
to do them, to upkeep, so we have to kind of.
Yeah, if we're doing 200 feet, we need a bigger
Whew.
Zamboni.
Yeah.
Get more help. Get younger help.
I mean, maybe we could throw that in there, I don't know. I don't see that it says a match is needed, I mean, I can,
That would be very strange if there wasn't.
let me look up key information.
Cause you're gonna have to come up with costs. for-
Yes, and that's why I wanted
Less
to
than
run it by you
20%.
first, cause it is gonna be a lot of like
Well, I mean,
figuring out of,
roofing costs, you see somebody like Pierre, that, okay, you got this many square
like an
feet.
estimate, yeah.
This is what you can build.
It
this
might be more work than we have time for in the next month to get this rolled out, but
Oh,
you know, we wanted to at least, you know, visit it and see, you must choose one track to apply. There is nothing here about a match. There's nothing listed. So,
Don't sound like I wouldn't think there's any harm in,
you know,
Just
try-
trying.
Yeah, for sure.
trying for it, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
You need a number to work with though, probably.
Who's this grant from?
It's the state of Vermont, it's the
State of Vermont?
Agency of Natural Resources and it's the Vermont
Outdoor.
Outdoor Recreation Community Grant. Yeah. So it's any projects that support local outdoor recreation economies, and, reduce barriers and expand opportunities for people to access Vermont outdoors. That's the intent of that. There's also a big, flood recovery track too, like if anyone was affected by the flood, but. So anyway, if you guys are okay with us at least trying, we'll see what we can work out. It might be, like I said, it might be a little bit more than we can manage, but cause it is a kind of it's, like I said, we have a month, so it's a little bit of a quick turnaround to get all the numbers we need, but we'll try.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's worth trying.
Okay. The only other thing, I don't know, Shauna's not here tonight, I know there's been some discussions about Little League and, I was happy to start a discussion since I'm here. Billy Joe, do you have like the numbers for like? So like Shauna and I have discussed, you know, like we pay for the mowing and the maintenance of the fields and all that kind of, you know, all the logistics. But like it's not our program, it's Little League, they use the fields, especially the dairy center, we don't use those fields for any of our rec programs. So Shauna had reached out to the school to see if the school district maybe would wanna take some of that funding, you know, we could share it. Which I don't think is something the school's necessarily interested in. So then the discussion is, well, does it make sense for rec to absorb Little League? And logistically, would it work? And that's kind of all I have for you.
And like I said, those numbers up to the dairy center keep growing, and I've warned, I've said this out loud, it's no secret. Before we invest a lot more money into an agreement, that we need to probably think about seeing something in writing from the Luke Gates Foundation or the dairy center, whoever, about making sure that if that property is sold, that field is not part of the deal and that it stays at the
Usable.
foundation.
Oh, it's usable, right.
Yeah.
How big's the number?
55.
1,000 or?
If you wanna buy it, probably more than that if you wanna buy
And
it.
this is maintenance to get it ready for the spring,
Right.
Yeah, it's maintenance grid for spring, we pay the rent, you know, we pay for
for the mowing.
the mowing. They do give us a little bit back for the portalet.
Oh, this
But-
is that company that comes in.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's not you?
No.
I was gonna say.
No, they
So
come in
they
and,
prep the, like,
they
the
prep the
infield.
field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dig it
So
up
they'll
and-
prep the
spring
field
fall.
for winter, so then come spring, it's ready to play on. They don't have to do any prep in the spring, they can just play.
2 tons of conditioner. Wow.
It's a lot of conditioner.
No shampoo.
So Shauna probably has more to speak on this than I do, but
She is my, but she did want to get the ball rolling.
yeah,
So you
she
guys knew
just-
what you were facing as far as, dollar wise, cause it is pricey.
And she didn't have much luck with the schools, so I think that's.
I don't think
the
she's
last-
had much luck with the schools. I think even
So
the
that's
schools.
not the mowing.
No, Phil's
That's
Phil's
something,
the
that's
mowing.
besides,
This is
yeah.
just-
Yeah, this is an.
This is them
addition.
making sure like they come in and, I think they cut the infield and then
Yeah.
they put like chemicals on so weeds don't grow. And then
But no, my understanding, she hasn't had much luck with the schools. I don't think they're really interested in
No.
absorbing any of that. You know, her argument was that, you know,
Do they do any
even
here?
though it's not
This guy.
they
just
have,
for the
they have,
schools,
but this price is
our
just
students
for, I
use
think
those
it's
fields,
just for-
so.
If it's just for the dairy center.
Sugi's field.
I think that
Little
is
League
just the
doesn't
dairy
fall
center.
under
Yeah,
the
2
school?
fields are up.
What's that?
No.
Little League doesn't
No,
fall under
it's
the
its
schools?
own organization, so like it's Northwest Little
Dairy
League is
Center.
what we fall under. So they use our fields, or they use the Dairy Center fields. But no, they are not affiliated with the school, they're their own thing,
No, okay.
so.
So this price is for 2 fields, so the only the 2 fields up there, so
Yes.
we don't have a price alone for ours,
I can tell you, hold on.
because now we're pushing like
Just a second.
8,000.
Yeah, you're probably close, I wanna say it's about 3 for our field,
Yeah,
around that.
that's why I thought with the money that we're, no offense, because well worth it, but the money we're spending on mowing and the money that we're spending on something like this, it's almost maybe time to think about either trying to find the time and the money to do another field here, or find something where we can bring it into town, because,
Right.
you know, unless we get a contract that says, you know, she's not gonna take it away. I mean, there's a lot of money to dump into fields. That you don't own.
Alright, yeah, we definitely should have some sort of agreement from her that we're gonna be able to keep using them.
Margo, were you up there much this year? They did some drainage work, was the fields better this year?
The Dairy Center,
Oh,
they're
a lot
much
more.
better,
Yeah.
yes.
Even that ditch you guys opened up made a big difference.
Yeah, we
It's
see
still
that
wet
already.
on that end towards the goat farm. It still does get wet in there, but it's not as bad as it was, and out in the center is
Mm,
very, there's one wet spot now, but it's
yeah, it's
it's
better.
just if it's, well, this year it was wet,
Right.
quite regular, but I can see where a normal year would be perfect.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, it's 3,080 just for our field, so.
Yeah, I was backing way up to that meadow, right by the rail trail. I was like, when I got in the spring, I said, "See, let's open up this thing, and I
Yeah.
bet you that's gonna help that
It made a
field."
big difference, yeah.
'Cause
It's still wet there, like I say,
Yeah.
but it's still, it's better than it was.
This 5,500 at the Dairy Center, is that just a one-time deal? Will it be,
In the
Closer to
fall,
Every year.
so they do every year in the fall.
Every fall.
is it more this year because there's so much more work? Would it be
Possibly,
closer to the 3
Possibly.
future years?
I don't know that for sure. Shauna may be able to tell you that, as I know she was the one that got that budgeting for those fields. But like I know, like this 3,000 for our field, it includes it's the annual budget, which includes edging, weed control, weed removal, and the conditioner. So it's kind of everything.
Sounds like it's the same.
And again, they come once, they don't have to come again in the spring, it's ready to go, or that's the expectation, so. I don't know what she has there, if that's more, because it's the first time, I'm not sure.
Looks like it's similar stuff.
And the baseball fields, I don't know the difference between, cause we have a baseball field, and the dairy center is a baseball field and a softball field, so I don't know if the softball field is different, cause it's skinned, there's no
Yeah.
grass,
There's
so.
no grass in it.
So that might be a different price for that too, they might do something different, so I'm not sure.
One of the problems there, it doesn't get used that much during the summer either.
I think-
I mean, more use would definitely keep the grass and the weeds and stuff down, but it just, once they're done with it in
They're
June,
done.
it's done.
They're
Nobody
done.
uses it again until next spring.
None of the men's league or none of them guys use it
They
anymore.
use
They
the other,
used
they use
to.
one of them, but they still don't use it enough to keep it down.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
enough,
But Shauna will be into the next meeting, so if you have questions, you can.
Table it to that.
Yeah, she can speak more on that, I told her I would get a conversation started at least, and.
Mhm.
Okay. I think that's all I had.
Now, Margot, you mentioned you guys taking over Little League. How would that
Yes.
look?
Well, so I talked to Sean about that, cause I was like, well, realistically, like, I don't have enough hours in the day, I could not do that, like, but Shauna's suggestion was if we absorbed it like that, it would become kind of our budget line, we would do all the registrations, order all the equipment, kind of do that piece of it, but then whoever's the liaison for Northwest Little League would be the one that would manage the coaches and create the teams and create the schedules. Like, we wouldn't still have to do that organizational piece. It would just be, we would really just take over the registrations essentially and the financial piece of it.
Mhm.
Is there any
Yeah.
fee for people to play? I mean,
There's a fee, yeah.
There is.
There is, yeah. Cause then they go back and so that would kind of be what we would take over. People would pay and then we'd have to go back, purchase all the uniforms, purchase all the equipment needed, that kind of stuff. So it would be a big undertaking. It would be a lot more added to what I would be doing for sure. But yeah, whoever's kind of the liaison for Northeast would still break up the teams, figure out the logistics of how the schedule actually would work. That wouldn't be our thing. We would just,
Supply the team.
we'd supply, yeah.
So the thing is she giving this up or is it?
No, it was just a discussion.
They were just
Would it
thinking
make
about
more
it. They haven't
sense?
given-
Because a lot of the stuff that we're paying for this stuff, so does it make sense that this is our program? Like, if we're paying the rent for these fields and we're maintaining these fields, does it make sense that it's under the rec umbrella, basically? Other towns do it, so I don't know how it works for them versus how it's working here. It was just kind of a open conversation, so. I do know I will say there is a lot of confusion. I get every spring, I wanna register my kid for softball, and I say, that's not me, you gotta go here, so. People do think they should come to me for that, yeah.
And just like think about that.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll have Shauna next meeting, you said?
That's what she said.
Dig into it a little deeper then.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys did well with the playground funds.
Yes, we did. I think, well, I could tell you where we're at, if I can find it in here. We did way better than we anticipated, that's for sure. About $35,000.
Wow.
Great.
Was that just on your online campaign though?
No, so that's between the online, well, within that time frame. We made that, plus we raised 20 in our original fundraising effort, and with the grant match that we'll receive, we're at almost $75,000
Wow.
for total playground budget.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
currently
great.
working with
Very nice.
Justin at the playground rep on basically adjusting our plan because
Yeah,
we
it's
have a
great.
lot more we can work with
Yeah,
now.
that's great.
So yeah,
Awesome
yeah,
stuff.
it's exciting. It was
Good job.
it was not what we were expecting. We were ready to grovel for money at the end of the campaign, but we didn't have to. It's cool.
Alright. So next on the agenda, we have ambulance Victor. And Sam.
Are you here for moral support? They've already gone over your
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
I'm
And I can
moral
talk to you tomorrow about that, but.
Yeah, I'm just on moral support.
Are you on
yours
duty?
tomorrow?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
just stop and stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Alright. So just a few items to go over with you guys tonight. Starting out, just some employee updates. I've incorporated kind of an updated schedule just to show you guys. How full the schedule is getting with the addition of the Unit 2. Currently I've got 2 regular Unit 1 shifts that are still available right now, but those are getting scooped up like crazy. And the total number of employees we're at this time period is 22 right now. So we're doing really well right now for coverage of the units. Everything went into effect this week, including the Alad Tech payroll system, the Unit 2 day truck. Everything's gone without a hitch so far. Tomorrow I'm meeting with Mary just to loop her in and make sure she's good with the time cards and everything. But so far, everything's worked pretty well with that.
Great.
So,
You did a great job. Pierre and I were there. I think you did a really good job handling that.
thank you.
Addition,
Update on the background checks. So I got in contact again with the Lamoille County Sheriffs. I've been working with Gary Taylor. That's his primary job now, is doing the background checks, which I've talked to you guys about that before. The original price that they quoted me, it was supposed to be between $1,500 and $1,700 to do all 22 employees. He came back and told me that we were quoted incorrectly. It's $1,500 to $1,700 per employee.
Oh.
So we're not doing that. So what I'm doing thus far is I'm running the background checks myself. I can't do the in-depth check that the sheriff's department can do, but I can do what the state requires. And that would cost us $30 per employee. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Good job, good job.
Yes.
It's a little better.
So as soon as I heard that price, I said, no, we're not doing that.
My heart's something.
Yes, very different. So those will be completed in December, and then that's gonna be again on an annual basis. I've already got the paperwork done for that, so.
And the thing is, with something like that, do we have a clause in there, when they so-called sign off, and that is, something to the effect of, to your best of knowledge, you have no criminal offenses. I mean, some wording,
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah.
So that at least, oh, here, I got it stated, you signed
Yeah.
right here that you said you had no offenses.
Yeah, so the way the policy is written, if any offense occurs during their time period here, they have to notify both me plus the state EMS office as well. If they don't, then that would suspend their EMS license and obviously suspend their time here at the service.
Right, but I'm talking prior.
Oh, prior offenses.
Prior to
So
it.
if you say you didn't have one and you end up having one,
So theoretically, because the background check, the state has been doing the background checks.
Right,
Basically, the state has said, we're not doing it anymore, the services are taking it over.
right.
Theoretically, they should not have anything that comes up with that because they've been able to get it.
because
with
they've
the
already
state.
been tested.
Yep.
Okay.
They've been doing it with the state. It's just we're taking it over now.
Yeah,
If I did find something, then yes, that's a whole nother issue because then the state never caught it and then we'll have to cross that bridge.
okay.
But theoretically.
But at
it
least
should be.
as long as there's a clause that.
Yeah. Yep. I can share that with you guys too, just to make sure the wording's okay with you guys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think we should probably run it through legal too, just to make sure the wording's okay with it. But we're gonna start doing it ourselves just because the cost savings is much better. touched on that. So I've had Burlington Communications here looking at our radio systems just to figure out, from what I've been told since I started here, the radio systems are very old. I'm not talking like our portable radios, but the station radio basically. So on the telephone pole outside the station, we have the big 20-foot antenna that goes way up in the air. And I've talked to Robert about it, and basically that's been here since the station was built. Burlington Communications took a look at it because we've had intermittent radio issues. Unfortunately, the area we're kind of in that bubble of there's not a perfect system that works for Enosburgh because we're too far out for VHF to work, but we're kind of too close for UHF to work, so that's why we have that complicated link system. So they took a look at our antenna, and they did report that our antenna is ready to be replaced. It's a fiberglass 20-foot antenna, and as fiberglass ages with weather, it starts to splinter, and they said it's very much overdue to be replaced. So I got a quote from them on what the cost of replacing that antenna would be, and they quoted me $4,323.25. What saves us the cost?
All this is
incorporated.
Just for
part
that.
of the antenna.
Yep, to fix the antenna. And this also incorporates, because the wiring as well is pretty old that goes through the station, they're gonna make sure that the wiring going through the station is appropriate. Because from what we figured out, there's a lot of different systems pieced together to make our system work.
So, because I know nothing of this,
Mm.
it's not used just by you, it's firemen too? Or
Correct.
just you? Both?
Fire and EMS,
Okay.
yep. And that's for transmitting and receiving. So what saves our cost, and I talked to Robert about this, and I'll talk to Mark if they can use the ladder truck, the fire truck ladder to get up there and replace the antenna. If they can't, then they would have to bring out their own unit, and that's what jacks the price up very high. So I'll talk to Mark LaRosa about it just to make sure he's okay with them using it. I know the town, do they have telephone pole trucks as well?
The
The
village.
village
The
does.
village does?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this should be shared between
Yeah.
Seems like
Fire-
because they
this
must
should
be
be-
repeating
this
off of it
animals.
too, aren't they?
No, yeah, divide this in half between the two services,
Yeah.
right, right.
the, it's
And-
benefiting both.
And if they can't, I don't know, we would probably call the village and see if they would help us out with that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Yeah. I'll talk to Mark about this just so he knows. He knows I've been working on or looking into the radio systems. They've had an issue with one of their fire trucks, which they replaced the radio head on it, so engine 2 is working better now. But they did look into our radio systems and they said that's definitely ready to be replaced. So I'll just confirm with Mark that he's okay with. Obviously, they'll need a firefighter here to operate the tower, but just allowing them to be able to go up and replace that antenna. But I was looking to get your guys' approval for the replacement of that antenna on top of the telephone pole.
When would they be start? When would they start on this?
Their time frame's kind of wonky because they also do the state and towers and antennas right now. Time frame is probably a month
Oh, okay.
before the snow flies, ideally. But
You'd need like the light company to set a pole for them, is that what you're saying?
no, just to go up and reach the top of the pole, basically. Our benefit is the pole's already there. When they built the station, they put in that big telephone pole outside. So that's a huge benefit for our radio system. They just need to replace that
The
antenna
boom.
just to be able to get up there because it's really high. I would never go up there.
Maybe.
So I stay on the ground.
You shouldn't have to.
No.
Somebody's got
I don't get
hand,
paid to do
somebody's
that.
got hand stuff to them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
From the ground.
Lower rope.
What do you mean you dropped a nut?
Come get it. So that's what I just wanted to bring to you guys, is just to see if we can do the go-ahead with Burlington Communications to replace that antenna.
Well,
Talk to Mark.
everybody's gonna motion, I'll entertain.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Dean made a motion, Pierre second that motion to accept the antenna replacement. Any more discussion? If having none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say nay. Unanimously approved.
So they think this will help all you guys' reception?
Yeah.
The fire too must be, huh?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah. That's the idea.
Does that work with your town trucks too? No.
No,
Different
no,
system.
don't have any effect of that.
You wouldn't have to change the radios and the rigs at all, no?
We've got the same similar antenna at the garage for our base radio. That probably has some work too, cause it's
Yeah,
not really working like it was.
yeah, the systems are getting old, so they're just starting to need to be replaced. Perfect, so I'll contact them and schedule the date to do that, and I'll go see Mark about using the ladder truck. Item number 2, so for the cruise, what I'm looking to do, we didn't really do much for EMS week. What I'd like to do, because we've done well this year, is kind of a Christmas gift for the crew members. And what I was looking at was job shirts. We've got wintertime coming, and we don't really have job shirts to give to people, especially the new hires that have been here. So what I was looking to do, I quoted out the price for job shirts. Essentially what they would look like is actually what Sam's wearing. Something like that without
You
the
stand up, no,
Model it.
they're all gonna have his name on it.
Yeah, right, I was thinking that same thing, yeah, so you could have a different name.
I get 20 of them?
So this is basically what they would look like. The only thing that's missing is their name that would go on the side, on the right side.
Yeah.
In the back, the EMS would be reflective, so for night, they would at least
It'd be the
reflect
zip
back.
up in the front and all that.
Yeah, they call that a quarter zip.
Yeah.
Just more, it's a common look kind of for EMS. They call it a job shirt. So I quoted this, they're $45 a piece. We use Grizzly Graphics to do our pink shirts for breast cancer awareness, and they really did a good job. So I would be looking to do the same with them for embroidery. And this would be about $100 per job shirt. So that would be, we have 22 employees, so that would be $2,200. I'm looking at $2,500 just as leeway, if there is any added fees with that. The expensive part is the setup fee. Once the setup is done, then it's just stamp and punch them all through. But this I just want to get going just because I know it's going to take about a month for all this to get together and come in.
And it's getting cold.
It is, yes.
So these are insulated.
Yep. Yep, warmer wear. We have plenty of t-shirts. T-shirts is good, but cold weather we don't have much for offering for uniforms. This would be a good gift idea for everybody.
Now with 22, you wanna change it to maybe like 30, just to have a couple extra? Or
That's
not?
it, yeah, we could do that.
Cause then that way you got some backups.
Yeah, extras, yeah. If we have
In case
a
someone
new
wanted to
hire
buy
or
another one,
something. Right,
you know,
So-
offer one as a gift,
yeah,
but then, you know,
If they would like to purchase one, so they would have 2, they
so,
purchase an
I
extra.
mean,
I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
do they kinda know about this?
No.
Oh. Cause
But
I was gonna say,
I'm
if,
not gonna be able to keep the secret.
right, and,
Cause he has to
cause
ask
I was gonna say, you know, if they kinda knew about it, then it's like, okay. Maybe I wanna go to 40 now.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm gonna be able to move the rest of them.
Yeah.
I mean, how many would you buy, Sam?
Well, I already have a couple I have myself.
They don't have his name on it, it's somebody else's name.
I mean, someone who works full time, it's nice to have 2 of them at least.
Right,
So, I mean, if you get one as a gift, you might buy another one.
Yeah,
yeah. So potentially 50.
50 shirts.
I would.
No,
I
he's
would-
not saying we buy 50, I think what he's saying is, he would end up buying, we would pay for 25, and then the other people could potentially be
want
buying one
additional.
each.
Yeah.
So, he's not that generous, you should know that by now.
I was looking for the holes, they're all filled up.
Well, no, but the thing is that, you know, in your initial purchase,
Mhm.
it's probably less expensive, you know.
The more you buy.
I don't think it
does
makes a difference,
Does it
does
go that
it?
way, or is it
No,
just, this is
not
the
really.
price?
No,
No,
it's gonna be
okay.
per price.
The expensive
That's
part is the
unit.
setup fee.
Right.
Once we have the setup with them, they
Right.
have our design and
Yeah,
everything.
they can do
Yeah.
one shirt.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you
And
call
then it
them
just
and do
goes
one
I
on.
just hate to,
Yeah.
cause you will be paying for it, cause somebody's gonna have to pay for it
Right.
if they don't get sold.
Yeah, right. Okay, so figure on 30 and then,
Try
you
to
know,
sell a couple
you know,
and
you know
then-
that,
And then later
you
on,
can always
people.
go February and just say, hey,
Right.
I'm putting in another order in February
Yeah.
for Valentine's.
Right,
Yep.
and then that way they're paid for as you order them.
Yeah.
Not taking money out of your budget.
Yep. Fine.
Okay, so I'll
So we'll
move.
do,
I'll second.
are we going for 30, you said?
Yep.
Is that okay, since you asked for 22?
Sure.
Oh,
Then we went to
Do
25.
30.
and what color are we picking?
The shirt.
Oh god, don't even start.
Oh yeah.
The black, right?
It's actually like a navy blue.
Oh.
It's a dark navy blue, kind of
Okay.
like this.
So Pierre made the motion for 30 shirts, Phil seconded the motion. Any more discussion? Having none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous ayes, it's been approved.
Perfect. I'll get those on order. And then the last item for this. So Stryker reached out and they are doing a 25% discount on their, it's a Lucas. What did you call it? You have a name for it? On the budget line? Chest compressor, basically. So before, CPR machine. Before I started here, you guys had budgeted for an auto pulse, which is similar to a Lucas. It's just a little more expensive and a little different compression on how it does chest compressions. Personally, my experience, I've worked with both units. I've used an auto pulse, which you guys looked at, and I've used a Lucas. 9 times out of 10, I will always go with Lucas, just because the auto pulse, in theory, the design is okay, but in actuality, we've had more complications with it. We used it in the hospital. They bought 2 of them. They're both gone. They're complicated units because you have to be the perfect size and you can't move. So Lucas is kind of the design that's been made for EMS, and is a very popular system for EMS. And currently they're doing a 25% discount on those right now. So they sent us a quote. We had budgeted for $20,000 for a chest compressor, and they quoted us with the discount $17,500. So this is something I just wanted to bring your guys' attention to. They are running the promotion right now. If this is something we budgeted for and are heavily considering, this would be the time to get it because it's discounted right now. It is a seasonal discount, so if it's not something we wanted to do this year, they do it every year in the fall. Can be considered for next year. From our perspective, it's nice to have when we're in those rural sections, Bakersfield, Montgomery, Berkshire, and Franklin, where we don't have as much fire department help to do chest compressions on calls. Like we do in Enosburgh. The Enosburgh Fire Department definitely turns out in drones to help us with medical calls, but those rural calls are where we're having the problem for chest compressions.
Yeah, we talked about it, but we had never done anything, right?
We never ordered that.
No,
No.
Nope.
Correct.
I'd say I'll move. If we've got the money and we budgeted for it.
Well,
Actually,
we're close to on our budget on that line
Right.
item, but we can move some stuff around and, we have done very well this year. Thank you.
Yeah. No deal.
Yeah, I kind of leave it to you guys. We are close in that section. It's under the med supplies, equipment, and auto pulse section. So we budgeted, it's 39,000, 20,000 of that was designated to the auto pulse.
And this has nothing really to do with this year's budget, but in your pile of warrants, we made our last payment on the 17th,
Oh, great.
so that's good.
Yeah.
One down.
One down.
Yeah, but didn't we order a new one?
You got 2
2
years
years
on
away.
that.
Don't burst my bubble.
You got 2 years on that.
So you made a motion, Pierre?
I'll second.
Pierre made a motion to accept, Phil seconded that. Any more discussion? If having none, all those in favor of purchasing this chest compressions, Lucas, or no?
Yep.
Yep.
Signify by saying aye.
Alright,
It's a Lucas by Stryker. Is our rating?
Made by Stryker, so.
Okay.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous ayes, you have approval.
Grants come up, they won't go backwards for something already bought like this, would they?
Which grants do you mean?
If there's any
Like he's
grants.
just saying if something
Oh, if
pops
we
up.
would get, probably, I would be surprised if they did. Typically they don't.
But we could always keep our eyes and ears open for a second one, for that would pop
The grant, if there was grant money, I'd look at another monitor.
up. Oh, a monitor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, those are the things that,
Super expensive.
yeah, we,
Yeah, that burned us.
yeah.
At the, like, what was it, mid-January, we're like, oh, by the way, we need two.
These are expired, yeah.
Yeah, the 2 monitors we have, they're good. They're getting refurbished every 6 months, so
Okay.
they're fine to run. But in the future, at some point, we're gonna have to look at another monitor. But that's down the road. So that's those. And then the last 2 things I have are just 2 employees who applied. You have both of their applications in front of you. So the first one, she's an EMT. She actually, I believe you and Mary met her. She came and did some ride time with Sam and I. She lives in Fairfax. She is very ambitious, very excited to work. She's kind of basically upstarting her EMS career. She's worked at the hospital as an ER tech for about a year, and she's really trying to dive her career into EMS. So she wants Enosburgh to be her place to learn and develop her career. She's got a goal to go to paramedic school. Stephen, I, and Sam are pushing her for paramedic school. She's hoping to do that in the next year or so. But she wants to come here and learn from us.
So in her her credentials right now are
EMT.
EMT.
She wants, she was hoping for a full-time position. We're full on the full-time positions, but she is looking for 32 hours a week. If you look at the schedule, I have some open slots for her that I incorporated in there just to take a look. She's very available to do the Unit 2s, which is helpful. So we have continuous Unit 2 coverage. But she's definitely interested in wanting to work here, work with us and learn. And she's looking for a per diem employment. Wants full-time, but we have per diem employment.
So she lives in Essex?
Fairfax. Right,
It says
Split
Essex.
between the
split
two.
between the 2. Currently runs on Fairfax Rescue.
Yeah. Entertain any motions?
We're gonna do both or separate?
Up to you guys.
You wanna look at both?
Yeah, I can touch on the second one. The second one, she's been in EMS for quite a period of time. She's actually currently in paramedic school right now. She initially reached out to us to see if she could do her paramedic ride time here. But I did discuss with her that in order to do her ride time here, she would need affiliation with the service. Having affiliation with the service, I'd like her to at least be an employee of the service. So for insurance purposes, at least she's covered from that standpoint. She said she's available to work weekends, which is super helpful. She's an AEMT, currently employed with Missisquoi Valley Rescue in Swanton. She lives in Swanton, but she's looking to do her ride time here with us and also looking for per diem employment with us. And she's an AEMT.
And she has Sam as a personal reference.
She's worked with Sam before it.
Surely,
You
surely
approve
wanna
with
do
her?
that?
You
I
would?
do.
Okay.
Are you
Hmm.
okay? Have you met both of them?
Mhm.
Okay. Does she?
Okay.
Now, the one that's going for a paramedic, I mean, she's already, taking the course and everything like that?
Currently enrolled in it, yeah.
And,
So-
is there a trial period, so like if you bring them on and the per diem, they don't work out, you just don't come on for hours, is that how that?
Correct, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and if they don't meet their obligations, 12 hours a month or at least attend trainings, then, they would no longer be eligible for employment.
Okay.
You know, 12 hours a month, that's based by the state, right?
The 12 hours a month
Yeah.
service.
With our service or with, in general?
For, you're talking for employment or for ride time?
Well, that's what, remember there how I was joking about that they had to have 1,000 hours?
Oh, yeah, for the ride time.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
can't guarantee somebody to.
Right. No, no,
But
but-
we have to say the 12.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, it is a ton. I remember.
I say give them a chance, I'll move.
Are you still needing?
They're helping fill in the Unit 2 holes
Yeah.
in the weekends, that's the big thing.
Mhm.
They're helping fill in our weekends, we're on the rotation.
And I can vouch for just the time where I'm at the office, they've been busy, like,
Mm.
Worshford being down is really, it's pressure.
We're definitely on a record year this year. We're currently at 1,000, what was the last number? 1,050 right now. Last year we did a total of, what did we say, 1,068?
Yeah.
So we still have 2 months left.
Big holidays too.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't have a temporary rate of any sort for their unit too, that,
So last I was updated, they're not totaling their unit.
oh, they are,
No, it's going to be, it's not fixed right now, but the insurance company is not totaling it. So it's gonna be months out, but they are getting the same unit back. It's gonna be fixed.
I saw a Newport News rig here the other day, two of them.
Newport News?
Yeah.
Oh, NEMS?
I don't know, it was two ambulances headed down 105, one with lights on, one without. That was
Newport.
a week and a half ago.
Unless they pick somebody up in Troy or something that wanted to go to Northwest.
Yeah.
They sometimes,
I don't
very
know.
rare, but they do sometimes do that.
Huh.
Yeah.
They were blue ambulances.
I don't think unless
Thought
we
it
did.
said
Were there
make
lights
a
on,
motion,
or-
I
Yeah,
don't think
one
I
of them had
wrote
lights
Did you
on,
make a
one-
I
One of them
think,
was like a box.
Yeah,
I
for-
think he kinda
Smaller
offhandedly
van.
made a motion.
Okay.
Garrett, that was their 242 accident.
Oh, got you. Up in Westfield.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, it's 50-50 if you come here or go to North Country.
So Pierre made the motion to accept the two candidates, do I have a second?
A second.
Dean seconds that motion. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye,
All right.
all those opposed say nay. Unanimous ayes, the two candidates are approved.
Alright, everything approved and on orientation. Thank you guys, that's all I have for tonight.
Well, thank you.
Budget season's coming up.
Well, thank you, Sam, too, for all the time you put in and your very well written letters that you put in front of us there.
Your dedication.
We'll keep you around.
Thanks.
You were worried about
Better
tomorrow.
hang around, we just ordered you a new shirt.
Right?
I know.
Two of them.
Well, I thought I got 20.
I got a closet full of them. Alright, thank
Do
you.
you guys want a
guys.
cookie before you go?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good right now. Actually, no, I'm still in case I want.
There's nuts, in case I misworded, there are nuts in there. There's nuts in there, Jess, you can have one.
Yes.
He doesn't get any
I
nuts
don't
on
get
her.
any
The
nuts
wife doesn't
anymore.
want nuts.
She doesn't, yeah.
Oh, really?
None of my kids.
Thank you,
This
guys.
was a little different than what was in our.
No, she's not allergic.
No,
No,
she's
no.
a-
Yeah, I didn't, yes, that was, the one that was in the packet was Garrett's, budgeted stuff, mine was actual.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for, when I was looking at the, that one, I was like, well, this is the budget, and I was wondering this is where we are up to the year.
Very good, I mean, had a great year.
Yeah.
I mean, we were very lucky that he's attentive and he went backwards, captured a lot of stuff that we thought was lost.
Come on, Joey.
Yeah, that shouldn't take too long.
Famous last words.
Last year we contracted with NRPC for $1,000 to do some assistance on the grants and aid work, and then again for fiscal year 24, they're asking if we wanna do the same. They come around with me there this year and we looked at a bunch of projects and stuff, and while they were out there, they looked at some for next year. So some of the works they've already looked at, but, in case we need to do more sites or whatever, I don't know if it's something you guys wanna do again, but. That's the stuff that Bethany used to do used to be for free there, but, starting last year there, they kinda charged us a little bit to send a person out to go around, look at the sites and evaluate them, and then they gotta send in for approval from the state and stuff, so.
Was he beneficial?
Yeah, it saves us having to do it, so. It's optional, you don't have to do it, you can do it yourself, but I thought it was worth it by them doing it, so.
They get the grant money and everything. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, it's grants and aid work, so, yeah, we get basically, I fill out the application for wanting to do it. And then they come out and go with you and look at the sites where you're gonna do the work, what you're gonna do and where you're gonna do it, and then they fill out the assessment form to send to the state.
Yeah.
To get the approval to do it, cause basically you gotta have their permission to do this work underneath the general permit for the grants and aid work.
So in other words, it's to our advantage to hire these guys.
Yeah.
And if we don't, it's one more thing Joey has to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then you gotta go back and meet and get their approval.
I gotta meet with them, I always show them the sites, but then they take it from there and get the
Right.
approval from the state, so.
Yeah.
In a few days, a week or whatever, I get an email saying, yeah, you're okay to go ahead and do the work that you wanna do, and so maybe again for at least another year or so, we should probably continue to do it.
Yeah.
They did give us quite a lot of free time there with Bethany, and
No, I'll move that we do that.
Okay, I'll second.
just gotta have a,
Motion's been made, seconded to, accept the agreement for municipal assistance, is that what it is?
yeah,
Any more discussion? Having none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
All those opposed, say nay. Approved and signed.
I filled out the other stuff, so. And while we're on that subject of a signature, I know I brought some stuff to Larry the other day, financial reimbursement form. And it's been talked about before, is making me an authorized signature to sign some of that stuff. I guess I can see if we're spending money. Maybe you guys wanna sign it, but when we're accepting money, I don't see why. It would save me having to chase Larry down or wait to the next select board meeting
Collect some money.
to get a signature. As soon as you get that stuff sent in, the quicker the money's gonna be coming back, so. So I hunted Larry down there a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, whatever, to get a signature to.
I saw that when you submitted, I said, yeah, we gotta track Larry down.
I have signed those things before and it's gone through fine, but this last time, well, there was several steps to this last FEMA project there with the windstorm there last year. I had asked, can I sign this? And one says that you can, and then the next, of course, it was like 5 or 6 people carbon copied on the email, and another one chimes in and says, I just hate to have it trip something up, so it would take longer, for FEMA to kick it out and then have to send it back. But if you were an authorized signature,
So they just
I
have to
said-
have a copy of the minutes.
That's what I would send them.
No, I would
They
say-
didn't really say that.
No,
They said if you can show, you're an authorized signature, then it's no big deal.
Would it be for specific authorized agent for
It can be whatever you guys want.
federal
it to be.
disaster
I
or?
would say for grant reimbursement.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to spending money, I'm not just gonna sign something and I'm gonna come to you guys. Like this right here, I guess, I mean, it should go through you guys anyways, whether we spend $1,000 for something like this, but I could maybe just tell Billy Joe to ask you at a select board, at the meeting, I wouldn't have to be here, necessarily, or if she had the form or whatever, but just say, ask them if they wanna do it, and if they do, well, then the next morning
Then
I
you
can
can
sign
take care
the
of it.
thing and send it off.
Well, and the thing is that we only meet twice a month, so it makes it
Well, some,
Like,
some
yeah,
decisions need to
yeah.
be made
sooner than later.
Yeah.
because it's beneficial to do it sooner than
Yeah.
later. And like if you're trying to get money back, then, of course, like I told Larry, it's not that you're just signing and saying, yeah, okay, go ahead and send me the money, but you're verifying that those figures are right, that they're saying, that they're sending to you, saying this is how much we're gonna send you, do you agree to that? And you sign it, so.
I'll move that, we give Joey authority to,
Sign for,
Grant reimbursements,
or
federal.
sure, I'll second it. Whatever appears.
give him whatever title you wanna on that.
Right. Yeah,
Authorized agent.
Yeah,
there you go, something like that.
yeah,
To be an
Something-
authorized agent. Yeah.
Something not too specific, cause then it can cover other things,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
Authorized agent or something.
there you go.
So
Send them a checkbook.
The next time
here,
I will do that, I will sign that and then send them a copy of the minutes too,
Okay.
so they'll know.
Pierre made the motion, Phil second that motion. Any more discussion? Having none, all those in favor, Joey be authorized agent for signing. Signify by saying aye.
Alright,
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous ayes, it's been approved.
I think that's all I had unless there's something else on the agenda that.
Had the paving go, I see one day of like, they had to wait about 11, 12 o'clock for it to get warm enough probably.
No, it was warm enough to start with, but they got
lined
some
up.
miscommunication as to when the first truck was gonna be sent out of the plant there, so they didn't get it, they got a late start. No, it was actually warm enough, cause they actually asked if it was alright to use there's an additive they can put in the mix that the state makes them use, so they can, cause the rule of thumb is 40 and rising,
Yeah,
they can pave. Well, they wanted to know if it's alright to use that additive that the state makes them use, cause you can do it from 35 and rising.
I
But the
get you.
particular day that they were gonna, to come back the second day there to finish, it was actually, it didn't even get like 36 overnight, so
Yeah,
they could've started like right off first thing in the morning because they're using that additive as far as I was concerned, and but yeah, there's miscommunication, I guess, when they got started there, so.
That was the day they did the aprons and.
No, that was the last day, Friday.
Friday.
That they finished,
Yeah, it looks good.
Does.
yeah.
It's nice. I don't hear the banging going by my house anymore. There used to be a little couple trenches where they did the box culvert there, and
Yeah.
bang bang, bang bang. It's like my dad's like, oh, it's so nice and quiet now.
For a while.
Yeah,
till those feed trucks come through.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we had,
No, there's no feed trucks on that road anymore.
Not allowed.
we had a little bit of a discussion there, cause I told them that I said there's nothing in writing, but we told you we wanted our paving done in September. And verbally, it was like, yeah, there shouldn't be a problem with that, but here we are. So anyways, what was happening was they told me there's a new guy. There's a new boss, and he's probably learning about the upper management part of this there, cause so they're gonna go to Fairfield and then they're gonna go to Georgia, Sheldon, I don't know what other towns, Berkshire and then to us and then to Cambridge. Well, so when they were supposed to come to us was that nice 80-degree weather we're having first part of end of September, first part of October there.
yeah.
Well, they skipped over us to go to Cambridge because Cambridge was having a temper tantrum, I guess, because they hadn't been there yet. So that's where they screwed up. And then the upper management pulled them from Cambridge when they finally got Cambridge done, because then they got some wet weather too. So
Yep.
they couldn't pave on wet days. They pulled them off there and brought them down the interstate. So they were down the interstate for, I don't know, a week or two. So anyways, when he called me and told me that they were going to skip over us and go to Cambridge, I said, well, that's nice. I said, right now it's perfect weather. I said, it'll be fun trying to piece this, and I don't think he understood what I meant, but the other day I said, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Trying to piece it in.
Yeah. Yeah, very lucky. I mean, we could have got snow and snow and snow.
Yeah.
You never know this
Yeah,
time
with
of
half
year.
of it done. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to finish it, but I told them, I said it's happened before. They did a bridge one time, Pikes did, and they come back the next spring and milled it and redid the bridge because it didn't hold. That was the 1st November. They had to wait that day until almost 10:30 or so for it to get to be 38 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only putting it on an inch thick on the bridge deck up here in the Iron Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't last.
They had to do it over next year.
They signed an agreement saying that they would redo it, and they did. So they did go good for it. But yeah, I had a little discussion. They weren't very happy. There was a little discussion about the weather too. It was like that week it was going to be, well, last week it was 28 degrees there every morning. So this was Monday morning, it was raining. It's like obviously they're going to be rained out, but they were thinking they were going to do the culvert, dig the culvert out, the box culvert. And they could do that. I said, that ain't happening. Well, you don't think it'll work? I said, no, maybe if it was sprinkling a little bit, it was pouring rain. I said, no, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And then I said, then it looks like it's gonna be Friday before you can do any paving. Well, I don't think I did see that. My weather forecast didn't show that. I said, I got my phone out. I said, see that right there?
Yeah, it's because you looked at Burlington
I
forecast.
said, that's what I told him. I said, you must have been looking at something from Chittenden
Exactly.
County.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you watch Channel 3, it's like,
Yeah,
wow.
they don't even know we're here. So Mike Wells says they don't even know
It's
we
gonna be
exist. He
it's gonna be
says.
nice except up in the Canadian border.
That's right, yeah, every day.
I said, I can tell you, you're not paving. We're gonna finish paving that road until it's warm enough and dry enough. And that ain't gonna happen until Thursday maybe, but looking more like Friday. So Thursday morning, they come and did the culvert. They dug the culvert and they did the culvert. And I said, I don't mind about the culvert because it's gonna go in there pretty thick and we're gonna pave over it next year anyways. And
Yeah.
so if that don't come out perfect, I don't care about that so much, but I ain't doing it in the pouring rain.
Right.
Been there, done that before. But anyways, we got it done and the weather was decent when they did it, so it should be fine. Ain't going nowhere, but
Good.
we're just lucky that we didn't continue with 28-degree nights and 40 and barely 40 by 3 o'clock in the afternoon there, and then been kinda hard to get it done, but chances are this time of year you'll get those days, but they'll get some decent weather too, so. Yeah, so,
Good.
yeah, he's talking about that new additive there, and I asked him about the price per ton, if I was gonna change that, no, if they're just gonna use that, so I said, oh, I don't mind using it. Sounds like it's gonna be better, so,
Yeah, I know they do that for concrete too, so
yeah,
it works. Gotta use it.
yeah. So you gonna, what did, I didn't catch everything then, what Tim was talking about here when he'd already,
We're gonna have Sandy go to, they got a meeting on Thursday,
Thursday, 9 o'clock.
and we want her to take some samples too.
yeah,
And we're gonna have to get hold of our lawyers too to find out. Cause I really believe if it falls on anybody, it should fall on engineers. Whether that happens or not,
what was he talking about, what do you want, though, or?
We didn't,
he didn't
You
officially make
discuss,
any.
yeah, he didn't actually
a request here.
Yeah.
But he was saying that the water got muddy.
It's cloudy,
Yeah.
real cloudy. He said it was, went muddy about 2 weeks ago. Then the trailer went muddy again. He thinks the surface water is going in, and that's what the cloudy.
Well, I know the week after we did we found traced the pipes and we
Right.
did the backfilling, and then we got a lot of rain that weekend.
Right.
The following week, they said that over the weekend, the water got muddy,
The 3 inches of rain.
which I thought, because we just barely backfilled that and we got all that rain, and it is gravel spring or well, so I thought, well, it's possible, I guess. So is that what he's referring to, or since then?
I think the way he worded it, it's happened twice with the trailer, so
And the thing is, you're not connected to that well, are you?
No.
Anywhere's close?
no.
This shop is just a shallow spring.
Over in on the corner there.
He's basically saying this, we lowered the static level too, but we had a little discussion about, where water travels, and I'm like, I can't throw a tile in and make it follow it sometimes, make it go places, because where's it going? That might be a state question or something.
Yeah, like when they dug the footer over towards the garage, that water was not that water.
Right.
It might have been water in the layers of the ground there, like it would be anywhere seeping out, but this was nowhere near as much water as that was.
Right.
Eventually, yeah, it filled up. There's over a foot of water in that trench area.
That's why we kind of want to get our health officer there to get some samples right now, because they're going to be shocking it again, but we want to take some beforehand, and then we can have some follow-up. But we also want to do the trailer, because they didn't test the trailer. And we can do both scenarios. They're only going to shock that well, but we're going to test both sources.
He's saying it's on the same page. So we wanna see if it comes up close, with chlorine for both.
But and I don't know if they were saying it was E. coli or it wasn't E. coli, it was coliform. Yeah.
One of them did though, didn't it? One of the tests didn't it have E. coli?
Way back when.
Oh, that was an old one?
Way back. These have all been coliform.
But I think, I wrote down, he said that, one of them, I think he said in the store, it says sucking air, that doesn't make any sense, so it's. Did he say that
Well,
they're
yes.
running out of water too?
Yeah, cause he said they're drawing, you draw so much that it gets down below the pump, and draws air.
If it was a true artesian, it wouldn't be that costly to fix it, but it's not.
Right.
Not a true artesian. That's where the engineers should have had that all figured out,
Research that a little
Yeah.
bit.
in my opinion.
Well, thank you.
Yep, we'll see you.
Heard anything from Adam today?
No? Why?
Okay, so he didn't tell you that he went down to the urgent care.
No?
Oh, okay. He just said, I guess he had something on his forehead or something, and I guess it got infected in his eyes. And
Oh, yeah?
I think it was just a pimple, and then, yeah, he didn't work today because he said he had to go down there.
No?
Got all that on camera now. Sorry, Adam.
Well, there's nothing about it.
I was hoping it wasn't like a tick or something that he might have thought.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was there and kind of wiped it off, and
Yeah.
but
Go ahead and find out at the meeting.
Smell bomb.
Yeah. Find out all about the family.
Alright, thanks Joey.
Yeah, thank you. See you later. See you.
Alright, we're on, the minutes, need to get approved for October 16th.
On the driveway, permit right there, shouldn't it actually state that, Joey brought the application in?
He didn't. He gave it to me to give to you.
No, I know, but
Oh,
it's more of,
we can pretend.
well, no, but,
Do you want the
Him-
address?
no, him being in charge of that type, because if, you know, if someone was to see this and said, you know, oh, Jim, you know, brought in
Okay,
the
so I
permit.
should put that Joey gave it to me to present to the board.
Well, something like that, but it's more of, you know, there's a process. It's not, you're just gonna walk in and you're gonna give us a driveway permit. It has to be, driveway permit was presented by, the town foreman for approval of,
For approval.
yeah,
I will change it.
just so that people don't think that they can just walk in here and give us permits and then we've gotta tell them that they gotta go see Joey, cause
Okay.
he's the one who,
I wanna know how come I was missed this meeting and we all got out at 7:20. What the hell?
I know,
I'm still looking for a gear.
probably the payback for the one that I missed in
Yeah.
October that we got out at 6:30.
That's right, yeah.
Alright, so do I have motions on those conditions for approve the minutes?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Dean moved, Phil,
Cause I wasn't here.
yeah, I'll second.
Pierre second, sorry about that. Any more discussion? Having none, all those in favor, approving those minutes on those conditions with the driveway permit, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous ayes, minutes have been approved. Alright, so now we got the Qualls property?
Quarrels.
Quirrell, oh, sorry, Quirrell's property. So that's,
The one along the bridge road,
Mm-hmm,
that 1 acre lot
right.
that she wanted to give us.
Yep, she has all her paperwork done. She's given a power of attorney to her lawyer out of Colchester, and I think Vaughn will have the documents in the next couple of weeks. Larry needs
So-
permission to sign.
you guys have to give me the authority to sign for approval. If that
Is this one in the
happens.
corner, before Valley Courts?
No,
No.
this is over by,
Along the bridge road, right, almost across from Deming Road,
yeah.
Oh,
up a little bit. She
And
gave
we
us
were
an
like,
acre
ah,
there with
is
a
this
big
something
rock there.
maybe with the town forest?
Yeah,
we
the
can do or
conservation
something?
went and looked at it and they decided they wanted it.
oh,
It
okay.
was a 1 acre lot,
Yeah, that's it.
right next to the Woodard property up there.
What is there for?
So he needs approval?
What is there for restrictions on that? Not that it matters, but
I don't
That would
remember
be her.
seeing any restrictions on there, except for, I think it said you can't put a mobile home on there. That wasn't, they were
That was
talking about
hers,
picnic.
that was hers?
No,
or-
not hers, that was like something that was in it from a long time ago,
Oh,
but lots of times those don't even stick anymore,
Yeah.
but I think they just wanna put picnic tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other place to pick up trash.
Place for the bicyclers to pull in and,
Yeah. If you can get them to go on that, yeah, that'd be.
So what, I move that we give Larry
Authority.
authority to,
Sign to
Sign it,
accept
yeah.
this piece of land.
yeah,
I'll second that.
probably wanna make it specific to that
Mhm.
piece of property.
Pierre made a motion, Phil seconded a motion to give
Page
himself
56, Article 22.
authority to sign for the Quarles property. Any more discussion? If having none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright,
All those opposed say nay. And it's been approved. Give me myself more authority. Yay.
you need a few more jobs.
Yeah.
Do we need to get you a shirt? Winter coat.
Alright, so I guess all we have left are the warrants now.
That in minutes.
We did
Oh, we did minutes, yep. So warrants.
Wait, do I have something, oh, I do have something else from the library.
Oh, right, I did.
Yes.
So I explained the problem with the hatchet, not machete, last week. So it probably would be a good idea to make a motion that doesn't allow things like that into the town-owned buildings, with the exception of firefighters, emergency personnel,
Law
people,
enforcement.
and the police. That they can't carry weapons of any
No
type
weapons
into
on any
not
town
my office,
premises.
not the armory, library, any, opera house, this building,
Mm.
unless you're one of those specific. I shouldn't have to do this, but we do.
And it'll give them ability to put a sign up,
Yes.
Yeah.
so they can't put a sign up without our authority to make a motion to not allow this kind of stuff.
I'll move that we don't allow weapons in public building, in our public buildings with the exception of emergency
Police officer.
personnel and police officers.
I'll second that.
Dean made the motion, Peter seconded the motion to not allow dangerous firearms and whatnot into town building, with the exception of EMS and fire and police. Any more discussion? Having none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous ayes, motion's been passed.
So much for the cribbage.
But then, but then at the same time, with us approving something like this, I mean, who's gonna enforce it? Say you come in with,
Well, it's a policy, so if you have a policy, then somebody can enforce it.
right, but,
And you can put a label on the door, cause if you don't have the policy, that's a legal label.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can put the door, and then,
And then we have-
call,
Information to back it up, like, they're gonna do one at the library that says, if you leave the building, your backpack and your belongings go with you. And that, they're creating that policy, because otherwise it would just be Brenda making up
oh,
frivolous rules.
Yeah.
As she goes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Maybe we
they're
should
gonna,
talk to her
they,
about,
They were wanted this to begin with, because of the problems they've been having.
I don't know if you. This is just for our knowledge.
That was just for you, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so that's everything in my files except for the warrants, so we can get that stuff done.
so does that mean Gracie too? She's a weapon.
She's a weapon.
Grab one, huh? We all grab one.
Yeah. Get 'em all.
Larry's got the big pack.
You probably got bigger dollars though.
The dollars never fails.
Oh, final payment, yeah, I like that one, yeah. $82.
Thank you, that one box cover. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Very pricey.
So we get reimbursed.
Yes, we'll get reimbursed
80.
for our, the work that we're waiting on. So they did the paving on it, Scott's Works, the box culvert. And I think Joe was just waiting on Lafayette's time to do the guardrails, and then we can send the packet in.
Oh wow, I should ask Joey, if I saw this before, how much it costs to get rid of those 6 tires, because must've been the ones with rims in them.
I don't, was it 6 tires? I thought it was the
there's 2 couches, 1 mattress, 2 couches and 6 tires.
Oh, I think there was probably a little more than that, that's just some of the details.
Oh, okay.
That's from,
But I took
Green Up Day.
all the rest of the tires and I'm like, I don't want anything with rims. And we got
That's just
enough of
Green Up
those.
Day stuff, so they came and took a bunch of stuff. But they hadn't brought the bills, so I don't think they knew what address to send it to. Would you like a cookie, Jesse?
We see this with the Goodyear excavating. There was a email with the Opera House that was kind of
Yes.
the drainage that kind of was way out of proportion because the way the village road foreman was talking about is like catching all this extra water, but it's not surface water, it's groundwater and stuff, and to get an engineer for that, it's like, Joey could do, it's just, you just gotta get the slope from here to there, correct?
Yeah, right.
But anyways, I was talking to Dean on the side, and I guess he talked to Scott a little bit about, maybe we try a dry.
Or a dry well.
Yeah.
Just dig a hole, you mean fill it full of stone or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he was talking about. He said that he was concerned about until the village redoes the wastewater system over that way. It's only is it only a 8-inch, 6-inch? He's worried about it.
Overdo
It
it.
is small, because it's always
Yeah, he's worried about
flooding in
it.
that area.
Yeah, coming back up the tile rather than going out if it got bad. He said, if you tried to dry well, if it didn't work, you could always add on,
Yeah.
always hitch it on after.
Right.
So he said, to go in,
Something
you're gonna
for
have to
now.
go through the sidewalk and gas lines and all that,
Right.
which isn't impossible.
Right. Seems like it makes sense to me.
He said, and it's all sand over there.
The one that gets through the stone is gonna soak into the sand anyway.
Yeah.
That's what the armory has. All the drains, that roof drains that come off, that goes into a dry well.
Does it?
Out behind the rink area, yeah.
That's always dry out there.
Right, yeah.
That's a lot more roof than the Opera House.
1, 2, 3, 4. She can have that one.
Oh, yeah.
We done for tonight?
Yeah, that's
I move that we
adjourn.
adjourn.
A second.
Gary made a motion, Bill seconded the motion to adjourn. Any more discussion? Have none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. And as always, have a lovely evening, everyone.
Can't get out of here.
Signing off.